Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Going Alcohol Free podcast. Hi, I'm Lise, and I'm your host, and I'm really happy to be here with you today. We are live here on YouTube. So if you are joining me, I would love for you to say hello in the chat. Let me know that you are here. And if you'd like to, give this YouTube video a thumbs up. That just helps push it out to YouTube a little bit more, gives the sign to YouTube that, hey, we're live and this is good. So thank you for being here. I appreciate you. I have a couple of topics for us to talk about today. And if you are listening in real time, and if you are in the United States, then you know that today is the day after Memorial Day. And Memorial Day is a holiday here in the United States to celebrate those, for us to remember those who served in our military. And so I just want to say thank you to anybody who has served, who had family members that served and are no longer with us. I just want to say thank you to all of you. Both of my parents were in the military. They were in the Navy and they met in the Navy. It's a very important holiday for me as well to think about that. So here are the topics that I want us to talk about today. And one of them is, well, first of all, if you were anything like I was, then the day after a holiday was very hard to get back into the swing of things because I liked to go all out when I was when I was a drinker. The holidays, it was like an opportunity to be able to drink and drink as much as I wanted to. And then the next day, so whether, a Tuesday after the holiday, going back to work or getting back to real life was always just so difficult. Oh, I hated those days so much to get back to what I called real life or to the real world. Maybe you can relate. Maybe you know exactly what I'm talking about. And if you do, I want to help you with that. So that's one topic, the first topic I want to talk about. The second topic that I want to talk about is why I don't count my days being alcohol free. So why I do not count my days being alcohol free. I never have. And I just don't do it. So I don't know how many days I've been alcohol free. I do know the date that I did stop drinking, and I know about how long it is, 4.5 years. I know in November 1st, it'll be 5 years, but I do not know the exact amount of days that I have been alcohol free. And I want to tell you why I don't count those days. So going back to topic number one, if you are fine, if you're like anything, like I said, anything like I was, the next day after a holiday and I would kind of go on what you would call a bender. I would drink from morning till night during the holidays, most of the time. So I want to give you some tips today on how to just get back into real life and to feel just a little bit better. Now, this isn't going to help, this will help about 95%. Okay. To be 100% would be to just basically be alcohol free. But we're going to get you to feel a little bit better and to get you back into the real world. So the first thing that I want you to consider doing is to, number one, drink some water. Your body is dehydrated. Okay. Your body is dehydrated from drinking alcohol. That's what alcohol does, is it dehydrates our body and our brain. So your body and your brain are dehydrated. You might have woken up with a hangover, with a headache, not thinking clearly, moving slow. The best thing for you to do, number one, is to drink some water and bring some hydration back into your body. I cannot tell you how important water is for our bodies, but I know I've talked about this on the podcast before, but I thought that I just didn't want to drink water. I was like, well, Diet Coke has water in it, and coffee has water in it, and alcohol has water in it. So I don't really need to drink water. I'm already drinking water. But that is far from the truth. If you have that same thought then I want you to reconsider that, because water, oh my goodness, every everything changed when I went alcohol free. But when I started to drink more water before I was alcohol free, I felt so much better. Like the next day, less hangovers. You just feel better. It's what your body and your brain needs. So I highly recommend that we hydrate our bodies. Okay. So that's number one. The other thing that I want you to consider doing is to, and if you are new to this, just hear me out here, but is to just sit for 10 minutes in meditation. And yes, meditation, I want you to sit with a focused practice of mindfulness for 10 minutes. What this will do is it's going to help to calm your body, calm your anxiety, calm your stress. I know that if, like I said, if you're anything like me, going into work the next day, when I had to go to work and I just felt hungover and I felt exhausted and my body was sore just from drinking. Like, if you have to go into work and you feel that way, I feel you. I understand. But what I want you to do is to, oh, and where I was going with that was that it was just so stressful to go into work the next day. I just felt so stressed, so much anxiety. And honestly, I just felt like calling in sick. And I rarely called in sick, but when I did, it was usually on a Monday and it was usually because I was hungover. And that's no laughing matter, but I never really got sick. But when I called in, that was the reason why. So I want you to sit for 10 minutes and just like no TV, no radio, just you and quietness for 10 minutes. Be quiet. It will quiet your mind. It will quiet your anxiety. It will quiet the stress in your body that your body is feeling. And you will feel so much better after that 10 minutes. I promise you, just give this a try. Give this a try. And if you are like, well, that sounds great and all, but I don't have time for 10 minutes. Okay, I get you. I understand. But why don't you try this instead? Okay, so if 10 minutes just sounds like you just don't have 10 minutes to do, I want you to take 3 minutes or 2 minutes and just do this little exercise with me. Okay, we're just going to ground ourselves. We're just going to be mindful for a few minutes. And I want you to think about doing this. I want you to think about, oh, and I actually have it on my phone here. Hold on. And it disappeared. Okay. So I want you to actually do some box breathing. I was going to share something else, but it was on my phone. It disappeared. So instead of taking the time to look for it, I'm going to share it next time. But what I want you to do is some box breathing. Okay. So if you're sitting at your desk right now, if you're driving home and you're like, well, I can't meditate right now because I'm driving, that's okay. I want you to just do this with me. Just do some box breathing. And box breathing, I want you to just think of like a box. Okay. So if you're listening, I'm just drawing a box with my fingers, or think of a window which has four sides. And I want you to trace that imaginary box or that imaginary window with your finger for a count of 4. And at the top and the bottom, you're going to inhale. You're going to inhale at the top, you're going to exhale at the bottom. And on both sides of those boxes, you're going to actually hold your breath for 4 counts. Okay, so you're going to breathe in for 4. You're going to hold for 4 counts. You're going to exhale for 4 counts. And then you're going to hold for 4 counts before you repeat the cycle again. And I want you to do that for like 3 times, 3 to 4 times. Takes a couple of like a minute or less or 2 minutes, depending on how many cycles you want to go through. But this will help to calm your body, your mind, the anxiety, the stress, anything that you're feeling right now. Take a minute or 2 minutes and do that after this episode ends. But if I would have had these tools, if I would have just known this, and everybody says, oh yeah, water is so good for you. But let me tell you, water is so good for you. Please, please consider drinking more water. you want to drink, for those of you that are wanting to know exactly how much water you should drink, is I want you to consider this, is take your body weight in pounds. And I'm sorry, I don't have the kilogram conversions here, but I'll put it down below. But you want to take your body in pounds and divide it by 2, and that's how many ounces of water you want to drink per day. Okay. And when I say water, I mean definitely, like, I prefer plain water, but if you're not a plain water person, then sparkling water could work. If you wanted a tea, but like decaffeinated tea, herbal tea could count. Anything that doesn't have caffeine in it, or the sugar thing, the sugary things or anything like that. I just want you to get water. And yes, herbal tea could count. Decaffeinated coffee could count. So take your body weight in pounds. So if you weigh 200 pounds, divide it in half. So that would be 100. And you would want to drink 100 ounces of water per day. And if that seems like too much for you, I get it. I understand. Build up to that. You can build up to that. But this is me with my health coach hat on right now, wearing my health coach hat. I'm telling you, water is such a game changer, especially if you're a drinker. The alcohol, caffeine, it dehydrates our body, our brain, our skin. We look more wrinkly. So definitely, please consider drinking your water and taking 10 minutes to be mindful. Do a meditation. Even if you don't know how, listen, it's very simple. You just sit there and just notice your thoughts. Okay. You're just going to notice them. And they're going to be telling you all these, they're going to be like saying, this is silly. Why are you doing this? You've got so much to do. Oh, you feel like crap. And you're just going to sit there and just notice. But I'm telling you, you will feel so much better. Your body will feel so much better after 10 minutes. So please give this a try and let me know in the comments below if you're on YouTube, or come to YouTube and let me know, how did you feel after you got done doing that? I'm just asking for 10 minutes. Or do the box breathing and some water. 1 glass of water. Okay. Now, I'm hoping that will help you if you are feeling a little bit hungover today from the weekend, the holiday weekend. Now, I want to just share about why I don't count my days alcohol free. And it's actually very simple, because I didn't know that I was going to be alcohol free for very long. And so if you know my story, or if you don't know my story, episode 33 and 34, please go listen to that or watch it on YouTube, episode 33 and 34, especially 34. That's how I share like what I did, and how I like woke up one day and was like, weird. I don't feel like drinking today. Okay. I'm not going to drink today then. And I was on vacation. So please go listen to that or watch that episode. But why I never count my days is because I don't count them now, and I didn't count them then. I didn't say, I'm 2 days alcohol free, I'm 4 days alcohol free, I'm 30 days alcohol free, because I didn't even realize like that I was going to be alcohol free. I just woke up every day and just thought to myself, wow, okay, I'm alcohol free today because I don't feel like drinking today. I am alcohol free today. And I made up my mind. And I was just alcohol free for that day. And I didn't think about trying to go 30 days alcohol free. I didn't think about trying to go 5 days or 10 days or 1 year or anything like that. I seriously, honestly did not even think about it, because I didn't know that I was going to be alcohol free like the next day. I just woke up and decided every single morning, like, that was my daily decision. Okay, I don't feel like it today. And it wasn't until I actually wanted to start the podcast when I had to go back and try to figure out when was the last day that I actually drank, because I didn't mark it. I wasn't tracking it or anything like that. So if you're counting your days, I want you to ask yourself why. Why do you feel that you have to count your days alcohol free? Is it because of society, or because it's the thing that you're supposed to do when you go alcohol free, or when you become alcohol free or sober, you're supposed to count the days? I don't know your answer. I just know that my answer was I didn't know that I was going to be alcohol free forever. And I still don't know. I just go day by day by day by day. And what was interesting is that about a week or so ago, um, we were walking by this bar, and I thought, oh, I could have a glass of wine. It was weird. The thought popped up in my mind. And then I just noticed it. I just noticed the thought. I wasn't judgmental of myself and beating myself up. I was like, oh, yes, yes, I could have a glass of wine, but I don't want a glass of wine. And I just kept walking by it. And if I really, really, really did want a glass of wine, then I would have had one. But I really didn't want a glass of wine. And that's how I stay alcohol free, because I don't judge myself. If I have a dream about drinking, I wake up and I'm like, oh, thank goodness, I wasn't drinking. I'm not, I didn't drink because I really honestly don't want to drink alcohol. I really want to be alcohol free because I like my life so much better alcohol free. Now, I just wanted to share my experience with you, and I'm, you know, helping you think about alcohol in different ways, because alcohol definitely isn't the way for me right now, and probably not forever. Probably I probably won't drink, but I don't know. And so I know so many of you, when you count your alcohol free days and then you slip up, and I put that in quotes for those of you listening on the podcast and not watching. When you slip up, you beat yourself up and you're so mad. You have to start over again, day one. What if every day is just day one and there's no pressure on you? Oh, can I make it 30 days? What happens after 30 days? Right? If you set a goal for 30 days and you're like, oh my goodness, what happens after 30 days? What happens to, like, what am I going to do? Well, if you're not counting your days, then you don't ever have to think about what's going to happen in 30 days. But if you do want to count your days, then maybe you just do like a cycle of 30 days. You have to figure out what's right for you, because I don't know what's right for you. But I do know that what I'm doing definitely works for me, and it might work for you too. So if you want to count your days, then go ahead and count your days. If that feels good to you, if it feels good in your body, listen to your body. Does it feel good to say, oh, okay, I've been alcohol free for 30 days? If that feels good to you, then do it. And then after 30 days, maybe you just go day by day by day. Or maybe you set another 7 days or another 30 days. But that doesn't feel good to me. And that's why I don't do that. The other thing is that I wasn't studying. I mean, I wasn't listening to other podcasts about how to go alcohol free. I was listening to Wayne Dyer. I was listening to Louise Hay. I was listening to spiritual books about the subconscious mind and about, let's see here, who else? I can't think of her name, but Florence something. And her books, all her books are on my shelf. And all of the people that, like, is it New Thought or New Science? I can't remember, but like I was really getting into listening to a lot of spiritual books, and um like on Audible. And like I was flooding my mind with all of this. And that's ultimately how I became alcohol free, because I became free. I became free myself. I freed myself from the negativity. And when I did that, like, I don't know, something just opened up for me. And I was just like, wow, I don't need the chains of alcohol anymore. Thank you for that. I saw that thumbs up. Thank you. I just didn't need the chains of alcohol anymore holding me back. I felt free, completely free. So going back to the topic, and we'll wrap up here, but I just wanted to let you know that if counting your days alcohol free feels good to you, then do that. But if it doesn't feel good to you, if it feels hard, there's no rule book that says you have to do that. You don't have to do that. I didn't do it. And neither do you if you don't want to. You can just go day by day. Because then, like a slip up, if you have a slip up, it doesn't feel so heavy and so hard and like you beat yourself up over it. It's just simple. You just drank alcohol on one day. Okay, tomorrow is a new day. And you can decide how you feel and what you want to do in the morning or the night before. And how do you feel when you wake up? Now, I do want us to talk about willpower, but on the next episode. Because what happens when you wake up in the morning and you say, okay, today I am going to be alcohol free. Or you wake up in the morning and you say, okay, I'm just going to have one bottle of wine or one drink, and you make up your mind. But then the end of the day comes and you're tired and you had a stressful day at work and you're like, screw it. I just want that drink. So let's talk about that on the next episode of the Going Alcohol Free podcast. I hope you found today helpful. I'm putting together something very special for you all, and I will announce that on the next episode of the Going Alcohol Free podcast. I have decided that I will go live every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Pacific time. So every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Pacific time, I will be here with you recording this podcast live and answering any of your questions. So if you have any questions, you can always put them down below and I will answer them right here live on the podcast. I also have a form down below where you can anonymously ask a question to me, and I will answer it on the podcast for you as well. So next week, let's talk about willpower. I hope you all have a wonderful week. I'm thinking about you, and I really do care about you so much. I hope you, if you found this podcast episode helpful, please share it with a friend or family member who you think might benefit from it as well. And consider leaving a rating and a review for this podcast. It helps other women just like you find the podcast as well. All right, everybody. Thank you for being here today. I appreciate you so much. Have a good week. See you next week. Bye for now.